A couple thousand years ago on this American continent, there was a righteous king named King Mosiah. Now, not all the kings were righteous. And so around the time of King Mosiah, he decided through inspiration that it would be a good thing not to have kings anymore on the American continent. The same way that our founding fathers were inspired not to have a king and to have three branches of government that would balance each other out or tie each other up in Washington, D.C. so that they didn't do anything. It would limit their ability to do bad things. So this King Mosiah had a son, and the people wanted an heir to King Mosiah who was righteous. And he says here, and this is the last chapter in the Book of Mormon, he says, I don't want to destroy my son. Isn't that interesting? Like Lord Acton said, power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. He said, unfortunately, a lot of good people, once they get into the seat of power, become proud and vain to the things of the world. He says, look how much iniquity comes from one wicked king or president or prime minister. And look how much wickedness he causes to be committed. And he says it's so hard to get rid of a wicked king because he's got friends in there who are also iniquitous, and he keeps guards around him, and he tears down the righteous laws of those who were before him. It's impossible to have freedom without righteousness. It's impossible. And in this continent, in America, it's especially blessed that if we can remain righteous, God has a promise for us that he will sustain the Constitution. And he says, now it is not common that the voice of the people desireth anything contrary to that which is right. But it is common for the lesser part of the people to desire that which is not right. The elites, media, education, I desire that this be a land of liberty, and that every man may enjoy his rights and privileges alike. It's harder to have a democracy, a republic, to be free, to have liberty, because it's so much easier to turn it over to one person and say, well, you handle it. And he says that the people then voted to have more of a republic. And they looked upon Mosiah not as a tyrant, it says, who was seeking for gain and power and lucre that corrupts the soul, and that he hadn't taxed them and didn't delight in oppressing them. And it was written by the people who were the ancestors of the Native American. And they too had prophets. The only prophets didn't just come from the Jews, but they came also from the people here in the Americas, which is a special land. It's an exceptional land. And in order to retain our exceptionalism, we have to be free. And if we allow a tyrant, because of our own wickedness and laziness, to rule over us and to promote wicked causes, we too are culpable before God. And the best thing we can do is work on our own personal righteousness so there's enough left of us that God will sustain us. As Gandhi said, I am the change that I want in the world.